right? You know, fair enough.
Where we start would be great. Thank you. I think you need to sit down.
I would say that a big difference though between America and Canada with regards to the Native issues is that in those places where Native title is recognized, I think that the Americans have been better about letting the Natives be self-governing and do what they want, you know, and the few pieces of land, that's okay, that's your land, there's no question about it. The Native communities in Canada still have a lot of rules as they are administered by the Department of Indian Affairs, right? And as we're in the United States, it's a bit more freewheeling, okay, that's your land, do what you want kind of thing. But otherwise, like I said, it's a really complicated issue, right, you know? So one of the big advantages of the Natives in British Columbia over the rest of Canada, and this is a gross simplification of it, but as the Europeans settled Canada and came farther and farther west and made treaties and made deals, as disappointed as some of those were, but some organization to it, when they finally got to BC, they were kind of out of money. And they sort of kind of said to the Natives of British Columbia, well, you know, we'll pay you for it later. Well, you know, years and years went by, and in the 1920s, I think it was, a group of natives in BC went to England and solicited the British Parliament, because Canada technically wasn't a country until 1923, right? Even though we celebrate our birthday on 1867, we were a dominion in 1867. A dominion's not a country. We had no foreign service. We had no ambassadors. When England declared war in the First World War, Canada was automatically a war, right? We didn't have a choice. We didn't have any ambassadors or embassies. We didn't become a Commonwealth nation until the Statute of Westminster in 1923, right? So the natives went to England and said, you know, you still haven't paid us for the land yet. They said, well, you know, we don't have the money, we'll pay for you later. And then in the 1960s, the natives went back to Ottawa. They said, okay, you know, it's been 100 years, you know, you still haven't paid us for the land, and, well, you know, we don't have the money, we'll pay you for it later. So the natives started a court challenge as to the ownership of the land, and after 35 years of litigation that started in the 1960s, the Supreme Court of Canada finally came down with a ruling that said it's sort of native land, kind of, but not really. And everybody said, well, there you are, right? The natives said success for us, you know, the government said success for us, and it's still just a massive confusion, right? So, I mean, today, not too bad, eh? There's a queue, there's a secret way that the buses can sneak by if there's a big lineup. Oh, there's no lineup really. So again, you've only got the two bridges over the harbor, right? This bridge that we went over that has the 3 lanes on it, the other bridge has 6 lanes. So I mean, you've got 9 lanes of traffic in total to support the 200,000 people that live on the North Shore. You've probably got close to 15,000 people living in Squamish now. And you've got a seasonal population in Whistler of about 20,000 in the winter, which is maybe about 9,000 in the summer. And then you got Pemberton, which has got to be, it's got to be 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 now in Pemberton. So all those people rely on these 2 bridges, right? You know, so. And I also point out that you have 4 lanes of traffic here that are going to squeeze into one single lane, right? You got those 2 lanes and our 2 lanes, and nobody's going to honk their horn. Nobody's going to give you a salute. When it's your turn to go, you let a car in. Everybody lets in one car. So I'm going to merge with this lane on the right, I'm going to let them in, and then when those guys are doing the same, and then when they merge with us, I'm going to let someone in. So everybody lets in a car, and then you go. And then you let in a car, and you go. And you know, I never even thought about that until I had somebody once comment on it and said, well, I can't believe how polite everybody is letting them in. But I mean, it's just the way things are. There's no sign that says you have to do that. And when you first move here from a place like Toronto, it's like, you know, nobody's going to get in front of me, right? I've been waiting longer than you have, right? You know, but after a while, you just kind of relax, whatever, you know. filled with used car stores and, you know, whatever, buying, you know, used tires and stuff. I never go to Surrey, but anyway, it's out there somewhere. This is the river, by the way, that the salmon would swim up in the swim to the hatcheries. This dam by the river that the suspension bridge is suspended over. This is all West Vancouver on the right-hand side. And when you follow the shoreline along to the first headland, which is that dark wooded peninsula, there's a lighthouse on the rocks at the tip of it. A little tricky to see. It's called Lighthouse Park. And they wanted a dark background for the light to shine against, so they never let them log it. That's the oldest forest left in Vancouver at about 600 years of age. And those tall buildings in front of you, way out there in that next peninsula out there, that's the university. Those are the student residences of the University of British Columbia, because there's two universities in town, UBC in front of you, and then on the crown of the hill to the left, going back to the Rosedale. Yeah. The hockey team is playing tonight, but they're in Nashville right now. They're on a road trip, so there's no hockey in this city. It'll be televised, but the Vancouver Canucks are playing tonight. You guys know what a Canuck is? Our ice hockey team is called the Vancouver Canucks. A Canuck is slang for Canadian. It's like saying an Aussie or a Kiwi or something like that. You're not going to offend anybody by calling us a Canuck. And it comes from a cartoon caricature called Johnny Canuck. And Johnny Canuck... right back into downtown, right by Cole Harbour. I think all of those condos on the left-hand side, Cole Harbour, pretty posh kind of neighborhood these days. That's where that, remember that Australian kid who won the gold medal for the snowboarding thing? That, I don't know. Anyway, the Canadian guy, he lives down the street there. He lives in one of those. He's got this black Lamborghini driving around all the time. So, kind of a local fixture. With Robinson Street going down the center of it, this street would be kind of the shortest street in Vancouver because it's perpendicular to Robinson. It goes from the tip of the pie to the tip of the cry, with Stanley Park just down the block, right? So this is a real Vancouver street, you know, with all kinds of restaurants, and I had a good feel about it. I like it around here.
Hold hands. Oh no, you gotta hold hands. Oops. Gotta go in there, my boy.
Doritos, he says to me. Doritos. Hold on there.